direction. No one can pull me out. I'm forced down, different from the others. I'm running away now. Fears are fading, won't stop bleeding. 'Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going south. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. Burning inside, but I am alive. I'm not the one that you used to know. I've always hated to act like the others. I found my way to. Fears are fading, won't stop bleeding. Fears are fading. 'Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going.
Welcome everyone to the Monday Night Raw Watch Along. I am Chris Perish alongside Chris Best. Chris, how are you doing?
I wish today was an easier day for me. I lost my pet lizard this afternoon, but wrestling is going to be therapeutic for me tonight.
Definitely send your condolences, and I know I'm going to try to make your night a little bit better. Not easy to lose a pet, but you know what? What was your lizard's name?
Mondo. He was a gecko, so Mondo Gecko. Ninja Turtles character.
Mondo?
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. And God rest. Yeah, we're here with Raw Watch Along as we're getting a recap right now of last week where Seth Rollins defeated Sami Zayn in a world title match. Kind of let's go back to maybe last week before the episode of Raw actually starts. What do you think and what are you looking forward to coming from last week going into this week?
I am looking forward to the build towards War Games right now. I mean, War Games is my second most favorite match of the year. First is Royal Rumble, but I'm looking forward to seeing where this story goes now. The one thing I'm
looking forward to. Before you, sorry, go ahead. I talked over you. My apologies.
Yeah, that's all good. I was going to say I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to the tag team title match though. I'm not sure on that.
Well, why is that?
I feel like we've seen it twice already.
That's fair. I do feel like we're going to see some sort of chaotic finish. We're probably not going to get new champions as we have Turnbuckle Studios coming in. Work has me on shift again this week, and I apologize for that. I miss the crew and you all. And Carl, let's just be honest here. We're filling seats here. I know we're two of the regulars, but you know what? This ain't going to be the same without you. We know you got to work. We know you got to do everything you got to do in the real world. You go do that. We got these seats nice and warm waiting for you. And we can't wait for the Golden Voice to make its way back to the Monday Night Raw Watch Along. As the run-in this week is most likely going to be done by OMD, which is hilarious. But yeah, no, just getting back to that tag title match. I really don't see new champions. I just think we're going to see some more chaotic spree here, maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe we do. Maybe we see Drew McIntyre come in because he is the rumored fifth member of the Judgment Day War Games match, while there's being a lot of names tossed around, potentially Randy Orton for the other side.
I don't want to be quoted on it yet, but Tom Collahue did confirm it during spoiler warning today that Drew is going to be the fifth member. He's not exactly going to be a full-fledged member of Judgment Day. He's more or less going to be like a B team kind of member.
Yeah. We have Cody Rhodes making his way down to the ring to start Monday Night Raw. But everyone in the chat, let us know what you think is going to happen at War Games or even tonight on Raw involving that tag team championship match as Finn Balor and Damian Priest defend those tag titles against Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso. And if by chance you're on the YouTube side, like Turnbuckle Studios is right now, make sure you hit that follow, that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. But what really does is hitting that notification bell to alert yourself when we go out we go out live. But that thumbs up. Let us know if you like the video. You know what? Here's something you don't hear all the time. If you don't like it, hit that thumbs down and let us know what we can do to get better, because it's not about the likes, it's about progress, and we care about that here on both our local establishment and Turnbuckle Studio. But also, let's just get active in the chat. Let's have a fun night tonight, and let's enjoy some Monday Night Raw.
Okay, so they're announcing a match that I predicted on Turnbuckle Talk was going to happen. The Miz versus Ivar tonight.
Yeah, it was actually announced yesterday, as I even found that one. I was writing up that little description there. So a lot of matches, a lot of single matches on par, because we can see another one with Otis and Shinsuke Nakamura. Also going to just say this, it's nice that you and I are on the same time right now when it comes to the broadcast. We don't have to wait for anyone. But as we said, OMD will be here later.
Yeah, he should be here later. He has not confirmed that yet. But Karl picked the wrong week to miss Otis wrestling tonight.
Yeah.
Because that Otis Nakamura match is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a fun match.
Yeah. Loving the screen right above Raw, and you get that circular kind of Raw at the top of your screen when they do the pan out.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that something new they've added to the show? Or is that just a part of the arena?
That's just part of the arena. That's the arena scoreboard.
And for those that don't know, they are in Washington, D.C. tonight.
Cody Rhodes is saying he wants to give the people a memory that they can take home tonight. And I don't have my volume on because it goes through here. But if I'm reading lips right, he's saying that gift and that memory is Jey Uso and him bringing back those tag team championships. Now, just from a visual standpoint, and honestly, and we have thank goodness for PVR, so I can watch later. Well, there you go. You can do a caterpillar all the way home to watch that PVR. And watch some Otis and Shinsuke Nakamura. As Jey Uso's making his way out to the ring, sporting a new t-shirt that says, yeet.
Still getting a fair-sized pop as he makes his way to the ring as well.
Yeah, and it's very interesting, too. I don't know if you'd noticed this, but they had a live event, the WWE did, and we saw Jey Uso walk back to the entrance aisle while his brother was making his way out. And one thing I don't know if we really talked about per se, but it's when the Usos did kind of have that split, they used very much the similar song they used as a tag team, but it seemed like for Jey, they just upped it a little bit. Up the pace, up the speed, whereas they slowed it down for Jimmy. And I really like that, to be quite honest.
It's kind of like Eddie Guerrero, right? When Eddie turned heel in 05 and they just slowed down his theme song.
And speaking of theme songs, they have it right today with Sami Zayn. As we always have it right when we got the statistic himself, Bobby Stats, or as we like to call him too, Bobby Benito, coming in saying, hello, guys. Hello, Bobby. How are you doing? How's your night been? Hope you're doing well. As Seth freaking Rollins now makes his way out as they're clearly getting war games. Understood to the Washington crowd.
Yeah. There's a part of me that still wishes that it was Kevin Owens as a part of their team, but I'm also fine with Seth being there as well.
I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna have Seth or if you're gonna have Kevin Randy Orton as a fifth, exactly. Like, why not have Kevin Owens? Like, I don't. Just that seems a little confusing to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, instead of Sami doing, "Hey, let me get my friend in," Cody's gonna say, "Hey, let me get mine." Although I'm not gonna complain about a Randy Orton return if we do get that at Survivor Series. By Benito coming in saying, I'm doing great. I was watching the NWA live stream on their YouTube channel talking about NWA Power for tomorrow. How's that looking there, Bobby? How are you enjoying the NWA YouTube channel? As you're not going to see NWA on CW, that's for sure.
I was just going to say, yeah, they blew their chances with that. Pun intended.
Let's just say, when it comes to NWA, they're also a CW there. I can't watch on the CW. NXT going to be that brand to watch now.
Yeah, and as I was saying on Turnbuckle Talk last week, I'm actually excited about that because I do have a CW. So if it's not airing on Sportsnet 360 starting October 24 or 2024, I can move over to the CW instead of using Sportsnet Now, which is a very crappy app.
Yeah, it's nice to have the option. It's the same thing with Fox and Sportsnet 360 here in Canada. I know that it's different in the States. They have the USA Network where you're watching Raw right now, but Sportsnet is the Canadian provider for broadcasting for WWE. There is no other Canadian broadcast that plays WWE. It's all owned by Sportsnet for the time being. One thing I wanted to ask you as we're getting the Judgment Day come out, we're seeing JD McDonough coming out a lot with the Judgment Day, almost like he is a member of the Judgment Day, yet he's never been officially accepted or announced as part of the Judgment Day. What do you make of that? And are you looking past that point already, or are you still wondering if he's going to get that?
I think they're just saying, yeah, he's a member now, even though he failed his 2 initiation spots. So, or the 2 matches that I thought were going to be his initiation.
Yeah. Bobby said he likes NWA Power on YouTube. That's good. That is good to hear. Also, just want to kind of let everyone know that Tatum Paxley and Tavion Heights from NXT are 2 NXT stars spotted at Monday Night Raw. Thank you, Wrestle Talk, for that.
Well, I found out why Noam Dar was at Raw last week. He was actually on Main Event.
Yeah. And you have to think maybe that's why the ones I mentioned are maybe they'll have a tag team title match or maybe a tag match on a main event. But if you're wondering about the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, Piper Niven is in action tonight going up against Teagan Nox. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I did not know that match was happening, and I'm very excited about that now because I like anything that they both do.
Yeah. I still like when people ask me who made the most noise at the Rumble, I say, well, obviously it was Cody winning, and then when Sami crushed Roman's back with the chair. I was pretty loud when I saw the return of Piper Niven. Obviously, she was Dewdrop before. The Rumble marked the Piper Niven character back, and I was so loud for that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I chugged an entire beer in excitement in that just entrance alone. I'm gonna kind of say this. I kind of go ahead before
I was gonna say I so wish that in WWE 2K23 I can go in and change her name from Dewdrop to Piper Niven.
There's a lot of people's names. Like you probably change T-Bar back to Dijak, and as he's been like asking for the update.
Yeah,
something I wish you could do, but I understand why it is the way it is. But what I was gonna say is like just looking at the Judgment Day, I almost feel like I understand why you have Damian Priest and Finn as your tag team champions. But I would much rather would have had JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio as the tag champions. That way you can have Finn Balor maybe target like an Intercontinental title or something along that line. Or maybe even the North American title, because I think it would be really cool to have Finn Balor always on NXT, especially helping some of the guys down there.
Yeah.
Because obviously Damian Priest with that briefcase is going to kind of look more into that world title.
And I'm just noticed. Oh, never mind. I saw it by his feet. I was going to say, I noticed that Damian doesn't have his briefcase, but there it is.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted to say this last week, too. What a feather in the cap it is for JD McDonough, his first actual PLE match, and it's a main event.
And it's War Games?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, personally, I have nothing but good things to say about him on being on Raw. And actually, I think it was Cody Rhodes himself on an interview. He actually spoke highly of JD McDonough on Raw and praised his ability to kind of catch up and like really mend well with the main event or the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He has that cadence where he feels like he just belongs. You believe that he belongs where he is. And I think that has a lot to do with people just not like saying, why is he here?
Yeah, as I'm looking at him on the apron, he does not look like the outlier to me in this whole situation.
I mean, he does for the sake that he's the only one not wearing purple. In fact, like as everyone is dressed in mainly black, he has a white jacket on. I do think there's a visual difference there, but
right.
As I was talking, it looks like there was potentially a match made.
Yeah, Seth and Zami are going to be taking on JD and Dom in tag team action.
See, there we go. What was I saying? Speak of the devil, right?
Yeah. It's just too bad we didn't get Theodore Long coming out to make the match.
I am okay with that. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah. Just looking over at the chat, and I'm like, you know what, chat? You guys have been very quiet. Let us know more about what you guys are doing tonight. Are you watching Raw? Are you watching us? What are you doing? How are you enjoying your night tonight? Even if you're not watching Raw and you're watching us, are you watching anything else? So let us know. But yeah, we come to our first commercial break. I'm going to count and see how many commercial breaks there are on Raw. I think that would be funny.
Oh, geez.
We have one.
One. Oh, wait, that's for OMD.
Mine, I got a notebook here. Got a pen. That's right. I'm going to do the tick system. Is there, with all the matches that are so far confirmed for Survivor Series War Games, which are you most excited for? But before you do, let's get to Bobby Petito's question, or not question, but statement. Tomorrow in NWA Power, EC3 controls his narrative versus Talos for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and pretty empowered Ella Envy and Kylie Page versus the King Bees of Charity King and Danny B. So
should be a decent match.
King Bees
or a decent show.
Yeah. I gotta maybe watch some more NWA. I have a little bit of time on my hands now.
Yeah, you got the next 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Although tonight I would have been here anyway because it is a stat holiday in Canada over here.
Yeah.
So I would have been here anyway, but yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow when I text a lot of people I work with just a picture of me drinking a beer at around lunch hour and saying, how's work going?
So as far as the matches that have been announced, I mean, we only have 3 matches announced right now. That's Gunther and The Miz, Rhea Ripley and Zoey Stark, and the War Games match. The male War Games. The female War Games already seems like it's in place, but I guess we're going to wait for an official announcement on SmackDown for that one.
Yeah.
But out of these 3...
Bobby Bonito also coming in and saying Colby Carino versus a friend of mine, Mo Jabari, for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, and Blake Troop versus Koa Laxamana.
Okay, where have I been? Because I thought Colby was training at the PC.
He did. He never signed a contract.
Okay.
I think he came in as a tryout and then didn't sign after.
But if I had to pick out of those 3 matches besides the War Games, Rhea Ripley and Zoey Stark, man. That's going to be a hell of a match. Don't get me wrong, Miz and Gunther is going to be decent, but it's clearly obvious that Gunther's going to win that one.
As the tag match has started, we're back from commercial. Seth Rollins and JD McDonough start off, and they're starting off with some speed. Some nice traditional chain wrestling, we like to say. Wonder if JD McDonough's like me and he calls the back body drop.
Every time I see a back body drop, I hear Vince McMahon in my head saying, back body drop.
I'm wondering at what point Dominic Mysterio makes the alteration to his outfit, because he does still see a lot of Rey Mysterio in there. I wonder if he does anything moving forward to change that up.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be like an immediate change, similar to what Ambrose did when he left, when the Shield broke up, similar to what Seth Rollins did, but Roman Reigns didn't.
Yeah, I was really hoping Dean Ambrose was going to go back to the old John Moxley look with the tights and everything. But nope. Bobby coming in and saying, I'm liking Raw so far. You know what? I am too. And I think Raw is back to where a lot of people wanted it to be, and that is a show that is worth watching. And honestly, 3 hours doesn't feel like 3 hours anymore.
I tend to agree with you because the last couple of weeks, like doing this show, I would look and be like, oh, it's the opening match. And then suddenly, oh, wait, we're at the main event already? Like, where the hell did the time go, you know?
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm going to put this to the chat too, Bobby specific, because you've been very, very active so far in there. I am testing out a newer way of, like a newer setup. How are you hearing me? Do I sound normal? Do I sound different? I'd like to know, and I like to get a little bit more of a perspective on how I'm coming off to everyone.
I guess I should have done that with my new setup when I got this mic, but I tested it out with you guys before we did the show, so.
Yeah. That's all good. It's actually funny. I'm seeing this match, and we have Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins kind of taking it to Dom and JD McDonough. And the more I'm thinking, I was like, you know what? If there's to be a heat here, like who's to take that heat? You'd have to think it's something that the attempt is to be on Dom, but then JD outsmarts somebody and does something dirty. But
kind of like what we just saw now, except JD didn't really do anything dirty. He just saved Dom.
Yeah.
And now they're channeling their inner Money Incorporated and taking a walk.
Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins will have none of that. They want to walk, they can do their cardio at the gym. It is fighting time here on Monday nights.
God, I love watching JD sell. To me, JD, with the way he sells, he's the new Mr. Perfect. He's the new Dolph Ziggler when it comes to selling.
Well, I think he knows that there's that aspect of his game that he knows he has to stand out on because he knows he's a smaller guy. And it's just a real thing. When you're a smaller guy, you're going to be taking a lot more of the punishment. Babyface or heel, you're going to take it. So if you know you're going to be doing something for a while, you might as well stand out and do it better than anybody else.
Yeah, and that's 2 now.
It is 2. But you know what? Like I'm gonna say this. Like I don't hate the commercial breaks. I know they're a little bit tedious near the end because we just want to get to it. But it also showcases how good that episode is too when you get emotionally upset when there's a commercial in the main event because they've done a great job of making you want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing because hey, yeah, you know, commercials, they pay the bills for the companies, so I get it. I just say give us some good commercials. Some of them are not that good to watch. I'm not gonna lie, the last couple have been very misleading.
Yeah, that last commercial, I honestly thought that was Zoey Stark in the commercial. That woman looked a lot like her.
I thought we were going to get something completely different from a car commercial. When you have a girl in their swimwear playing volleyball on sand. The last thing I'm thinking is the Lincolns.
Yeah.
But who am I? Never owned one, so I don't know. Maybe if I drove a Lincoln, I would start, playing volleyball in my Speedo at the beach. Just maybe. Oh, but yeah, gonna. If you were to predict the next, we'll say 3 matches for War Games right now, which are the 3 you will? And I'm going to try to say, let's make it simple. Let's not put the women's War Games as one of those.
Yeah, because as I said, that already
maybe instead of predicting, let's also add 3 that you would like to see as a fan.
Oh, geez. Well, I know that Kevin Owens right now has his thing with Austin Theory or Grayson Waller. So either one of them two, I'd be fine with. We're probably not getting Logan Paul at Survivor Series as much as I would have liked that. I think we're going to get Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar taking on one another there.
Yeah. One thing I would do is I would even add, if you do have Logan Paul, I would make it like maybe a triple threat match, or maybe I would do Ray versus Logan again, and then you'd have something more definitive as a finish with interference. But yeah, Ray versus Santos would make sense. And somehow I could see maybe Carlito being a special guest referee in that match.
Oh, yeah, because it was Carlito that all the bullshit started with, has on Friday there.
And like nobody even says anything about like that. They're just like, yeah, Santos did leave. Like, yeah, sure, but doesn't mean that he meant for Ray to get beat up by him. What a big boot.
In all honesty, I wouldn't mind the women's tag titles being defended on the PLE, but I just don't know against who, though.
Well, you got Elbow Fire and Isla Dawn. You got the KCs right there. You got even Natty and Teagan Nox. What happens if Teagan Nox pulls up the upset and pins Piper Niven? Maybe we can see that maybe spin into a tag team match. Seth Rollins doing a Uranagi, very similar to Bray Wyatt. So I think that might have been a little tribute there to Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of little things to pay tribute to Bray. Man, that still hurts that he's not with us anymore.
It is unreal. Like, really, like, surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Better yet to say. Doesn't seem real, but... And I still can't believe that I was at his last match, back all the way in January at the Rumble, against the man with everyone saying L.A. Knight, in a match where, if you didn't like it, you completely hated it.
See, I went back and rewatched that match, and I'm on the side that I enjoyed it now. Because at first I didn't really care for it, but I went back and watched it, and I kind of saw it through how you saw it live. And I'm like, okay, I see what he's talking about, you know?
Well, there's just a lot of things that I saw differently too, right? Like, and again, like, you don't have announcers in your ears when you're at a live show. You don't have that, so it's different. It's a different experience, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As we got the whole Judgment Day coming in to beat up Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn, as now we're getting Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso making their way out to even the odds. So, yeah. I think they're trying to tell us War Games is going to be chaotic this year.
Oh, yeah. And now we've got all the officials making their way to come and try and break everybody up.
Do you think they ban this tag match away from the main event? Which I'm assuming is going to be for the tag titles.
Yeah, this match, the match is for the tag titles, but I think
no, but I'm assuming the main event is the tag title match. Maybe
So with the exception of those who are involved in the tag team championship match, everybody has been banned from the building.
Yeah. Did you not see the irony that Adam Pearce is wearing Judgment Day colors right now?
I totally did notice that. But that just says when you do a promo like that, that just says that there is going to be some more shenanigans coming at the end of the night.
Does this mean that Drew McIntyre officially gets involved and becomes that member?
That's where I was getting at. That's what I was thinking of.
No.
Because he was the only one.
You're coming in and saying Lola Vice. So sorry, Bobby. Your wording has got me a little bit confused. But it says Lola Vice have breakout tournament contract. Do you guys think she cashed in for the women's tag team championship or NXT chip? Okay, sorry. Lola Vice's breakout tournament contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, go for the big one. Like, come on. You earned it. You got it. Go for it. That's what I say.
Yeah, go after Lyra. I feel like, though, right now it's probably a little too soon to call it. She needs to tease it just a little bit more, just like we're getting with Damian Priest right now, though.
You know what I would do? I cash it in right at the end of the Iron Survivor match. So if whoever's the champion, boom, I'm cashing this in. That's what I would do. I would say if they'd done this a little bit closer, do something that's never been done and cash it in for an NXT championship match. I guess the NXT title has been defended in front of a live crowd, I guess, at WrestleMania, I'll say. As Leeds is so far in the future, he's wishing us a Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Leeds, but what you don't realize is you're under the mistletoe right now. So pucker up, baby. But thank you for joining in. We appreciate you. It's funny that there's a Guinness commercial, and as you can see, I'm actually drinking Guinness right now. Guinness Blonde, though, because I can't do that Guinness.
Neither can I, to be honest with you. I'm not fond of that one.
No. And we also have somebody new as Gamer Boy Kai, as I'm thinking maybe you've been here before, but I don't know you very well. But thank you for coming in. Let us know a little bit more about yourself and what brought you here to the Monday Night Raw watch along. Leeds is coming in just with all the adverts. I got confused. So it's okay, buddy. Pucker up. So no, come on. You didn't even say no, which I'm kind of the more worried about. You didn't even say no to that. You should trust me. As I've been saying, I have beer. It's not going to taste good at all. The kiss, not the beer. The beer is amazing.
By the way, that commercial break was number 3.
Oh, no, it's already done.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So we're getting an advert for NXT right now for tomorrow night. And you can catch your NXT coverage tomorrow night following Turnbuckle Talk with the co-host over here. And I don't know who you're going to have with you, but it's going to be a great episode, I'm sure. But following Turnbuckle Talk, taking over with Astro Pizarro, Ed Fries on our local establishment. Don't want to miss it. That is our NXT team. And you know what? I even could be there tomorrow. So maybe you want to watch this.
So maybe we get a Perish run-in tomorrow night.
I can guarantee I'm not going to do 2 shows. I would be in a lot of trouble if I did. However, in the future, for the next 6 weeks, I'm available. I am going to say that. As I love the transition right now, we come back from commercial. Adam Pearce is in the ring with Rhea Ripley, only for Zoey Stark to come out And I love the transition. You're not wasting time with the backstage segment. You're keeping the momentum in. That makes the live crowd have more fun. As Gamer Boy Kai is saying, let's go, Cody. Leads to speaking my language. Yep, beer is amazing. LOL makes everything better. Sure does. It's a beer battered smooch, and you know you'll want it. I'll stop. It's about Rhea Ripley, and she doesn't have to do this. She does it because she understands and makes her look better as a champion. But she makes her opponents look like $1,000,000. And Zoey Stark comes in saying, thinking Rhea's overlooking her, whereas Rhea is coming back and saying, I've been watching you since NXT, and you've accomplished a lot here. Just in 1 year, I knew we were going to come face to face and fight one day.
That's that old school mentality of cutting a promo. It's putting over your opponent while putting over yourself and putting over the match.
Yeah. It's just it. If you make people care about who you face and then you beat them, they care more about cheering, booing you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you tell people, no, this person, not worth my time, and you beat them, then why do they care about the match? And if you lose, what does that make you in that process? You couldn't beat somebody that's not worth your time. I have no time for you now.
I think Zoey was having some trouble keeping her balance on the top rope there.
I'm not going to say anything because, well, yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that. I think, too, like, in order to do that really quickly, that's hard. Like, there's no room for error on your feet. But the point was there. The point was definitely there. And I thought they did a good job of making me care that much more about their match at Survivor Series.
And it looks like we're getting Otis and Nakamura.
Yeah, what do you make of that Shinsuke promo?
That was I'm trying to figure out the word for that promo. Very
Booker T
cryptic.
would say it's a good. Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of these have been, but they're different. There's something that's different. It's something that's different from everything we're seeing at Raw, and that's what I like about him. It sets him apart. It makes Shinsuke different, and I think that's something that's good, and I appreciate that. But now I'm looking very curious to this upcoming match with Otis. It's only going to be something that, well, I don't know if I think we have seen it before for a different reason, like especially when maybe Otis was part of Heavy Machinery and Shinsuke was a completely different person too. But I'm just looking forward to this and the kind of what happens moving forward. Game Boy Kai is saying, I love this channel. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We love having you aboard. And on the YouTube side, if you like this so much, hit that thumbs up. Give us that like. It does a lot for us. We appreciate it so far. Right now, we're sitting at a nice 4 likes here on our local establishment and 3 on the Turnbuckle Studio side.
Yeah, you just reminded me.
Let's
I'm going to do
get
something
those up if we can.
PS4 right now.
But hit that subscribe button if you want. Hit that notification bell, because if you love this channel so much, the one thing you won't love is not knowing when it comes live. And you want to catch it when we're on live, right? So hit that notification bell, because it'll let you know. Only a little bit of reminders.
You don't want to miss any of the fantastic programming we have here anyways.
No, we do a lot of good things. In fact, we do have a calendar, but I'll kind of let you guys know a little bit more about it on Monday. Yes, we do have the Monday Night Raw watch log that you're watching right now. On Tuesdays on our local establishment, you can see Turnbuckle's Talk featuring Karl Karufel and host yourself, Chris Best. Sometimes OMD is there as well. And following that, we have taking over our NXT kind of react show with our tandem Ed Fries and Astra Pizarro. And then we also have Ring Respect Radio on Thursdays. A lot of fun. The Boar's Nest happens too as well. Bubba Duke, Ring Respect with Papa Smokes. Represent. Bobby Munson. Yeah, on Wednesday. Can't even forget my own stuff. I'm forgetting my own stuff. Wrestle Draft, where Ed Fries and I, we play Wrestle Draft, or WWE 2K23, my GM mode. We battle each other. We do a third person. We have Eric Bischoff. He runs WCW on there. We have a lot of fun doing that. And then on the weekend, we have many good stuff. We have busting out on Sundays, where Bobby Munson and I, absolutely take everything off the rails because we're just idiots and we like to act like idiots. We have Marvel Talks with Ed Fries and Andre C. We have a lot of great stuff here at our local establishment. I only did that because I don't know if we actually have the calendar downloaded in this room.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked.
Yeah, we do. We'll play it sometime later.
But right now they're announcing everything that you can expect for WrestleMania week, and it's the standard SmackDown, Hall of Fame, NXT Stand and Deliver, and Monday Night Raw alongside WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it goes straight to the back with Sami Zayn and Seth freaking Rollins.
So I kind of had a feeling they were going to talk about. I kind of had a feeling they were going to talk about their history at some point.
They did without having to go in detail. I mean,
Right.
We all know their history. And I think the question's always going to be there. You know, Cody Rhodes is 3-0 against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is now the world champion. Cody Rhodes, when's he going to get his opportunity? Yes, that is what Seth Rollins meant by, we all know you want one thing, so just go ahead and say it. But Cody says, I need you for War Games. You don't have to like me 364 days of the year. But at War Games, I need Team needs you. If a non kind of main event tag team is to take the tag titles off whoever walks out of tonight with them, I really hope we see the Alpha Academy in that conversation.
Yeah, because I feel like the Alpha Academy would be that team that can maintain the importance that the tag team titles seem to have right now.
Exactly, and I think they're the team that, you know, are going to always fight for the titles, and I think that'd be very important. However, I can even go back to on the SmackDown side and look, hey, Pretty Deadly. That's a slam dunk option as well.
Yep.
Maybe even the Street Profits, the new and improved Street Profits. But then over on Raw, you got Imperium, you got DIY, you got hashtag plethora amount of options. Trying to find that good little plethora here. Where is it? I can't find it. Anyway, we got a nice little comment. Butch and Rich Holland. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that one either.
Although I wouldn't mind Butch being the guy that takes that U.S. title off Logan Paul either.
I also wouldn't mind Butch being called Pete Dunne again.
Leeds is like, yeah. Man, Otis. As we're getting some Caterpillar time. Shinsuke rolls out, veteran move. But Otis rolls out, hits him with the lariat outside. Also, veteran move.
And number 5.
Yeah.
That's
Number 5 within an hour.
I was just going to say that.
Beat you to it. Beat you to it. Big first your last, Bobby.
I was actually going to watch that movie this afternoon.
Well, I have to be in the right mood to watch those kind of movies. Not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, I was in the right mood, and then I went to go feed my lizard. Kind of brought me down, you know? So I'm like, yeah. So what I did for that is I just turned on some video games to just take my mind away from it. And it worked.
Very fair. What game did you play? I think that's the curiosity question here. What?
Fall Guys.
Which one?
Fall Guys.
There you go.
It's a game where you don't have to think. So.
Oh, trust me, those are the best games. Actually,
Yeah.
some of the good ones are. Well, yeah, I mean, it depends.
I mean, I would have
One of
played
these days,
Mafia
I have
2,
to look
but
back up my N64.
yeah, I would have played Mafia 2, but right now, where my mindset was, I would have failed the mission I'm trying to do right now on there. So.
I'm actually curious, whether about I'm a big sport games guy. Like I'll always play the NHL, NFL games, kind of out there. I haven't picked up the newer ones yet. Well, so no, I have the latest NHL. Like it's, but I don't have the newest Madden. But
Right.
I'm curious to see if I download that, if I can actually hit my check down better than my quarterback can. Or my team's quarterback. And with that, I'm going to check my fantasy and see if I'm actually still winning. Okay, so far so good. The best part, it's my work league, and I don't go back to work until we're in like the semifinals. So I think it'd be really funny because I started the year 0-6, and if I win, I'll be 4-6. So it'll be really funny if I just tell people, "Yeah, I'll just come back and I'm going into the finals." It'd be hilarious. Ooh. Went for Kinshasa, got caught with a power bomb. Both men down. Yes, we're back from commercial. If by chance Alpha Academy is to grow on the female side of things, and maybe we get a women's tag team out of Alpha Academy, who do you think would be the perfect partner for Maxine?
Ivy Nile. I don't know what it was, but just seeing them interact a couple weeks ago, I was like, yeah, I think they'd make a great tag team for whatever reason.
See, I was going more to NXT because something wanted me to have Alpha Academy and Chase U kind of somehow.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have put Thea Hale.
Thea Hale would have been great too.
Ooh, Caterpillar time, Caterpillar time, Caterpillar time. We're allowed to say that because that's okay, but anything wrong, we say Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper. Non-sponsored Dr. Pepper. Please sponsor our friend Carl.
Now, where's the
I always
benefit
have
of
that there. Even if it's empty, I'll just pour something fake in there to look like I actually have Dr. Pepper.
Bam.
Yeah. But I'm going to one up you too because for no reason, we saw the screen for the Hall of Fame. Bam! Hashtag Aldo Montoya for Hall of Fame.
There's a part of me actually that thinks
Shinsuke getting ready for Kinshasa one more time.
There's a part of me that actually thinks it might be cool if they had like a jobber Hall of Fame, because there are a lot of jobbers out there that we remember the most, you know?
Like Barry Horowitz?
Yeah. Louis Spicoli, even though he did become a name at some point.
Rad Ranford?
Yeah.
That's a pull, eh?
Yeah.
TL Hopper? Mad Mountain Rock. I mean, they weren't really jobbers. They just didn't work out.
Even
although Mad Mountain Rock had such a cool guitar, though. Who didn't want that WWF guitar?
I wanted it.
Come on, it's just beautiful. Oh, and there we go. Third time's a charm for the Kinshasa. 1, 2, Trey. Leads man, Otis. On the losing side of things is Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going to say this, sole for the fact that I still want Randy Orton to come out and face Gunther. I hope Kevin Owens is the guy that goes with the babyface team for War Games. Because I just want to see Miz get beat up by Gunther, and I want to see Randy Orton versus Gunther. I badly want to see that match.
I wouldn't be opposed to that either, because as I said, I feel like Kevin Owens belongs in that War Games based off of everything that he's been or that's happened to him prior to going to SmackDown.
Shinsuke doing a little bit of pushing not really pushing the envelope, but a little bit of bit to help Academy. Because everybody's trying to help Otis, gives a little head smack to Chad Gable, only to do a shh before walking away as Tozawa and Maxine hold Chad Gable back. As we get a War Games preview now, and no, not a Survivor Series one, but an actual War Games match preview. Nice little way to educate ourselves a little bit more about War Games. In fact, if you don't know much about it, there it is.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say I'm glad that they're not using War Pigs, but they are.
Yesterday with Audrey C and Ed Fries, they're talking about the Marvels movie, and they use Intergalactic in there because it's in space. And I'm like, that is the most overused one. War Pigs, I find very overused as well. Just because I'm not a giant fan of Ozzy. Never was a big Aussie guy. I didn't hate him, but just not a big fan of him as a singer.
Yeah, I'm sort of in that same boat for him. Like, there's just certain songs I do like and others that I don't like,
Yeah. We got the officials rules here. 2 teams will be contained in separate cages with 1 member of each team during the match. For 5 minutes, a member from the advantage team will be released in the match. After a 3-minute period, altering members each team will be out and then as the other ones coming in, just hold on, my TV. Wait. Once all competitors have entered, War Games match officially begins. The only way to win is by pinfall or submission. I'd do that really quick. I know I had limited time.
Yeah. But right now we've got Drew talking to Seth right now.
Yeah. Interesting. Offering his hand to Seth Rollins, which is accepted by the champ himself. Interesting. Does this only further plant the seeds now to that Drew attack on Seth?
I think so. And I was going to say, actually, it's taking Seth a long time to leave the arena.
Yeah, he doesn't like to gear down quick. We have Piper Niven making her way out now, transitioning to that match. Gotta say, liking the new outfit. Very awesome Kong inspired, it seems.
Oh yeah, totally. Very, very. So much awesome Kong in that suit.
And
so now she's
taking accompanied by the one and only Nox.
Yeah,
yes, Piper Niven, Teagan Nox. But before I have to do this, Chris, I have to. Piper Niven accompanied by one and the only Chelsea Green.
And Teagan Nox is going to be accompanied by Natty by the looks of that graphic.
Yep. And that's why I think if Teagan gets that shocking pinfall or maybe that roll-up win here, we perhaps could see this go into a potential tag match and a tag team title match that I would not hate. I said on Busting Out, put those tag titles in Survivor Series, and you can have up to potentially 14 women on a PLE. Tell me the last time not called Royal Rumble when that happened.
Probably one of the earlier Survivor Series.
It's been a minute. I will say that. And I know people are going to say NXT. Nah, I'm not counting NXT on this one. PLE on the main roster, not a Royal Rumble. You let me know when the last time you saw at least 14 different women on that show. And I think that's exactly what you get if you have a 5-on-5 War Games and a tag team title match here. And this is doable. Because like you said earlier, Logan Paul probably not there. That takes away your U.S. title match. You're not going to have a men's tag title match because those champions will be inside War Games. You don't have probably a SmackDown women's title match because Io Sky will probably be in that War Games match. And you don't have a world title match because Seth is in that match as well in the War Games, and Roman Reigns probably won't be at the show. So what other title is there to put out? It's the women's tag title. Like, just give us a women's tag title match on a PLE, WWE.
To be honest, when was the last time the Raw tag titles were on a PLE?
It's been a minute as well.
I want to say it was WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there, though.
What was the match? What was that match?
See, this is where we need Mark Talks Wrestling to come in. Let me see here.
We got Bobby Petito in there. We got Bobby Stats in the chat. Bobby, I'm putting you on the spot here. Let us know. Beat the Twitch champ here.
Well, I was wrong. There was no women's tag title match at Mania. There was a women's tag team match.
110 at 33. We're going to clip that moment. Oh.
Oh, wait. The last time the women's tag titles, I believe, are on the line was when Ronda turned on Shayna. Or when Shayna turned on Ronda, I mean.
Yeah, but was that wasn't a PLE, was it? Or was? Yeah, it was. It was. Bobby coming in saying Raw Tag Team Champions was defended on WWE Fastlane on October 7th, which seems to be. Is that the match you're referring to there, Chris?
No, because I was referring to the women's tag team champions, not the Raw tag team titles.
I think that's what he meant. Bobby, are you saying the Raw tag team titles or the women's tag team titles? So if you just look at Fastlane right now at 2022. Fastlane.
Money in the Bank was when that turn happened. And I should have remembered that because me, you, and Mark were on that show. We're doing the watch along for that show.
Yeah, that was an easily forgettable match, we'll say.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. It really was. But what's not forgettable, Teagan Nox making her way down for her match against Piper Niven right now. Chelsea Green's looking amazing. I'm going to put that out there. But, I mean, what Canadian woman doesn't? Just saying. Just saying.
I tend to agree.
It's actually funny because I'm going to say this. I want you to try to say I'm wrong. When I see Teagan Nox, it reminds me of Ronda Rousey, just from the face.
Yeah, but with the exception that Teagan Nox can actually work a match.
That's why I'm just saying in the face. I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah.
It's like anytime I saw Tony Nese, I'm seeing Jay White as well. And Raw is also letting us know that later tonight, Indi Hartwell will go one-on-one against the woman who took the opportunity away from Becky Lynch at last week's #1 contender battle royal, Xia Li.
So how much do you want to bet we see Becky make her presence felt in that match?
I think we're probably going to get a very decisive win with Xia Li, and then we see Becky Lynch. I would love it if Becky cost Xia Li the match, but I think at this juncture, Xia Li probably needs the match.
Right.
As Gamer Boy Kai coming in saying, Becky. I'm trying to make out what Teagan Nox armband says. Can you make that out?
Yeah, I've been trying to read that too. It's a black armband, so she's paying tribute to somebody.
Is it saying Athena? I think it is saying Athena.
But yeah, the last time the women's tag titles were defended on a PLE, because I scanned through all of them, even the NXT ones, was Money in the Bank.
Oh, did you see that pin by Piper Niven? Totally Undertaker style.
I was gonna say she's paying tribute to the Undertaker on that one.
Yeah. Game Boy Kai is coming in saying, I am so excited for War Games. And guess what, Kai? I am just with you. I am as well. Coming in a week from this Saturday. So Yeah, stay tuned. Maybe there might be a live watch along over at the Twitch and YouTube side of things on my channel.
I plan to be a part of it.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Always welcome. I'm sure Mark Talks Wrestling will also be there. I mean, how can we do that without him as well? He's almost becoming a staple of those watch-alongs.
And believe me, every time we watch the show with him, it's nothing but fun. I love that. I actually love that he gives.
In fact, I'm going to throw this one out there. Leeds. If perhaps we do a live watch along, would you want to join us? Be nice to get to know you a little bit more and spend some time watching some wrestling. Ooh, and the shiniest of wizards there done to Piper Niven. But she gets her foot on the ropes, too close to the ropes. So I do believe that armband does say Athena on Teagan Nox.
And it does.
I do not know the meaning of it. Gameboy Kyle does have a question for us before we get into that. Do you guys think Cody and Jey win the titles back? I don't. I really don't, actually. But as I say that, I didn't think they were going to win them the first time, and they did. So what do I know?
So, Perish, you called this one.
I did. As I said, what do I know? The irony of that one. I'm going to have to put that there.
We're going to have to clip that one.
That is just funny.
But no, I don't think Cody and Jey win the tag belts back. It'd be a shocker if they did, but I don't see it happening.
As we get a little bit of a highlight or a review of the four-way Intercontinental #1 contender match from last week. Miz winning. Very odd match. As we were wondering last week what was weird about it. Ricochet did sustain a concussion.
Yeah.
In that match. So that is what kind of caused a lot of concern there. Ivar taking out his frustration to the Miz after the match and thus creating the match we have set for tonight. Miz versus Ivar.
Yeah, and what happened with that finish is it was a botched finish. Ricochet was not supposed to kick out. This match was actually supposed to be another match for the #1 contendership.
Because we have Jackie Redmond interviewing the Miz right now. Very interesting to see kind of what they do moving forward. Are they going to go back to that, or are they just going to commit to the Miz and Gunther?
Well, I think
which I think they should.
Yeah, I think the
end. I think they should.
Yeah, I think the end goal was supposed to be Miz and Gunther, anyways, but. I tend to forget that Bronson's from New Zealand. So it kind of surprises me when I hear his accent.
As the Miz just kind of understands the situation, walks out as Bronson and Ivar start getting in a heated little battle. Miz just walks away. Good job, Miz. Good job. As now we have DIY's music hitting. Tommaso Ciampa looks like he's gearing up for his match against Ludwig Kaiser tonight. What do you hope for this match?
I hope to see a very exciting, entertaining, straight-up wrestling match between these two. I wouldn't mind seeing Ciampa pull out the win on this one, because I think Kaiser can afford a loss.
See, I'm going the exact same reasoning, but the other way. I want to see Kaiser pull out a win here, but I want to see Giovanni Vinci help Kaiser get the win and not get the acknowledgement from Ludwig Kaiser. But maybe he gets the acknowledgement from Gunther later, and this maybe sets up a tag match, maybe for the pre-show for Survivor Series. Because again, we're talking about those tag titles. Like, these are teams that I think need to be involved with the title picture.
Yeah, because even with these singles wins, you kind of these singles matches, you kind of need to get them their wins, get them their losses, whatever. Because these singles matches, being that they're tag team wrestlers, still helps their tag team division.
Exactly. And well, that's just it too. I get it why they keep having these titles on, the stars they do. It helps elevate the championships to, a higher spot in the card, higher spot in just, the perception of where these championships are viewed. But again, when you're thinking about, okay, what do we do after? You got to help elevate the tag division too. That's why it's very important that WWE is doing what they're doing. Yeah. Their tag team division has been very good as of late. But the only problem is there's no tag titles surrounding these tag teams. And because of that, we don't see enough of that perception, if you ask me. I go back to when you saw the TLC match between the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, right?
Right.
Not one of those 6 guys were perceived as a main eventer. All guys were considered they could go the next level, sure, especially guys like Jeff Hardy and Edge, even Christian. Matt Hardy was, I think, one of those guys that people wanted to see, but somehow he always just fell flat. And then I don't think even then people really expected the Dudley boys to ever split up, so they were always overlooked there.
Yeah.
As we saw later, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, clearly a main event talent. But it helped elevate the tag titles and the tag team scene without having a main event player necessarily. And that's where I'm looking at, maybe have Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser, DIY, Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, you got Alpha Academy, you got the Viking Raiders, you got the New Day, you got a lot of great tag teams, Rich Holland and Butch, as Bobby Medino earlier said.
The Creed Brothers.
Hashtag Plethora amount. Yep, Creed Brothers as well. But a lot of people. And then now with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, that could be another tag team. So just there's a lot you can do there.
The depth of the tag team roster these days is very reminiscent to the depth of the tag team roster in the late 80s WWF, when we had basically any team could make a challenge and it would be a credible tag team match. Even if the Bushwhackers challenged for the tag titles, it was still credible that they could possibly win.
Whoa!
Yeah!
Had to. If I had a bar of soap, I'd eat it like one of them too, but I don't, so. Just kidding, I won't.
We're not doing the Tide Challenge or the Tide Pod Challenge. No, thank you.
No. But if you want to see the old A-Pod Challenge, make sure you come in to bust me out every Sunday. We do that sometimes.
I was just coming. I think I just came up with a dream match of AEW versus WWE, and I think I would love to see Rusev. I would love to see Rusev take on Gunther at some point.
I mean, if we're gonna get somebody from AEW to fight Gunther,
but I'm still, I still think of when I think of Rusev, I still think of how they pushed him in the WWE. I don't think of how they've been treating him in AEW though.
I mean, a match that I don't think I saw in NXT that I always wanted to see was Roderick Strong versus Gunther. I don't think we saw that match. If we did, I don't remember it, but talk about a guy that has very vicious chops. Roderick Strong. My lord.
Oh God, yeah.
He's just not the messiah of the backbreaker, but he is a very good chopper. Speaking of chops, there's one from Tommaso Ciampa on the chest of Ludwig Kaiser as this match is underway. As we're getting a nice little eye gouge from Kaiser to Ciampa as Ciampa was looking to go upstairs.
Yeah, when he was doing that eye gouge, I thought he was actually pulling on Tommaso's beard there for a second.
Hey, gotta get that edge, man. You gotta always get that edge in a one-on-one battle.
Oh yeah.
This little sequence there by Ciampa, a chop followed by a jobber only, followed by a nice vicious clothesline. So we see a nice little cravat used, and I just wanted to tell everybody that the master of the cravat, Chris Hero, is making his way back to professional wrestling.
Oh, is he now?
Yeah.
Who did he sign with, or who is he working with?
I don't know. I just saw a thing that says Hero is back. And all I can say for his opponents is, oh no. The
He's
original
one dude.
KO in WWE.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's one dude. Era. He's one dude I wish succeeded in the WWE.
Yeah.
So Vinci is getting the toss.
I do too. Well, he is getting booted from ringside as I don't think he was warranted, but Johnny Gargano played a little bit small part. We're at 9.
9 already? Jeez.
9. A very not so democratic 9. That's all I'm going to say there. That is the creepiest NyQuil commercial I think I could possibly say. Like,
I agree. That was
There is no way like that ever happens in the real world. Like, there's one thing with like commercials, they could be funny, but when you're trying that hard to be real, take a look in the mirror. You're really just stupid as heck.
I think that's why I enjoy watching the Super Bowl for the commercials, because the commercials are friggin' hilarious, and they tend to
the American feed is,
yeah. I always watch the
Canadian
American
commercials during the Super Bowl. My God, it's almost as bad as a Grey Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, I said it.
Sure.
I like how you got a Grey Cup, the Canadian Football League, their version of the Super Bowl, their championship game, halftime show sung by Green Day. So can't wait to hear "I Don't Want to Be an American Idiot" in the Canadian Football League's championship game. This is almost as dumb as having American teams in the Canadian Football League. Wait, that has happened.
It did back in the mid-90s.
Dear Lord, is it like, what is wrong with this country and its logic sometimes? Can we just say it? Coming back from commercial, we have Tommaso Ciampa, Ludwig Kaiser battling it out. Kaiser has Ciampa in a nice little chin lock. Ludwig Kaiser, I think, is a name that I think deserves strong praise as being potentially a 2024 Money in the Bank winner.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think he'd be in that conversation, definitely.
If they were to bring back King of the Ring, potentially as well.
You know what? I just imagined him wearing like a king's robe and a crown, walking to the ring with a scepter, or even sitting on that throne that the Macho Man used to get carried to the ring in, and it fits him.
Imagine if they do that, like, before they go to Germany, and that's how his entrance is.
Oh, and he gets like that royal, like regal, like style gold lights everywhere, purple everywhere kind of entrance as well.
I also just want to let everybody know, yes, it is indeed official. The main event to tonight's Monday Night Raw is a WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championship match where the defending tag team champions, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, two members of the Judgment Day, defend against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and main event Jey Uso. Do not want to miss this. Coming up in probably around 1 hour's time. Because right now we have Ludwig Kaiser going up against Tommaso Ciampa. Thoughts on the match so far, Chris?
Very entertaining. I'm just sitting here just beaming with joy watching this match because I love Tommaso Ciampa and I love Kaiser, and just seeing these two just go at it is just there's no definitive person who's in the lead in this match, and that's one thing I like. It's just been straightforward back and forth wrestling between these two.
This is why I want to see an Elimination Chamber. I want to see the tag team titles being defended. And I want to see the 6 teams being Imperium. I want to see Alpha Academy. I want to see DIY. I want to see Pretty Deadly. I want to see, well, whoever the champs may be. I mean, I don't think the champs are going to be one of those teams, but yeah, give me the Creed brothers in there. And then give me, like, maybe an established act as the New Day, or maybe the Viking Raiders, or maybe Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. But give me tag team titles at Elimination Chamber, inside Elimination Chamber. Oh. Ooh. What a knee.
How did I know he was going to come back? And again, Perish.
What did I know? Man, what do I know? What do I know? Well, but Vinci too. Like, I even called like the reason. Let's just make this the pre-show match. Survivor Series.
I'd be fine for that. I would be really happy.
Now, I'm only saying pre-show match because I want to see the women's tag team title match on the card. Just pointing out the reason why I'm saying that, because I'll definitely take this on the actual show. 100% I will.
So I have to assume that that bag has some Judgment Day gear in there for JD.
Yeah, sorry, I had to pop after I hear that interview, and it basically says has a little bit of shots taken for the words that Damian Priest said when he was the fearless leader, only for him to say, "Look, I got hot." So what I said, but I didn't mean it. But then he says, "Okay, well, settles it. Okay, like, we got some business we got to take care of, the War Games." And then Balor saying, "Well, what about that other thing?" They want to welcome JD McDonough into Judgment Day. Damian Priest takes that takes that bag that, as you say, could have Judgment Day gear inside. Goes to take it for Damian Priest, as Rhea said, "Look, he took that shot. He's in medical right now. Could be you. And what does that do for tag team titles?" And Finn saying he's proven his time and time again. But Damian Priest said, "Okay, fine." Takes the bag, looks to deliver it himself. But Michael Cole, what he said right after, cracked me up. Just goes very nonchalant. "Finally."
I mean, the majority of us have already said
love
he's
Michael
like
Cole.
a member of the Judgment Day.
Right. But it's nice to finally see that, right? Like, we were talking about it earlier. When does he get that actual acknowledgement from the group that he's a member? It looks like tonight is that night. And I'm happy to hear. Like, it's good to see.
I mean, it's sort of like when the New Age Outlaws were helping DX out all them months later, and we were waiting for their moment to actually get inducted. And it took Shawn Michaels getting kicked out for them to get inducted, for them to join the next night.
Yeah. Well, he didn't really get kicked out. He just broke his back and lost the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That might have been one of the best ways to reignite a group, with making a very substantial change to it. And I always go back and be like, that's exactly what, like, how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was such a great part. And I think that is why I will always say that when it comes to a longevity factor, I do prefer DX over NWO. However, the NWO initial run, way better than DX. I will admit that.
Yeah.
But it's when NWO took everyone under their belt. They didn't really take a step back to take that step forward. Then all of a sudden there's many moderations. You have the LWO and all that stuff, the BWO and ECW. Like, although that really had nothing to do with it. It's just like what it created. And then it just seemed like it was oh, you want your own group? Okay. Oh, you want to be called whatever? Well, you're whatever WO.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, with DX they did that. Yeah, I can understand when they joined the corporation and stuff like that. That was kind of like, okay, you're reaching it for me. But then when they did that, the 2000 DX, that's when I was like, past that, I was like, no.
Yeah,
when you had Shawn Michaels finding God and then going back to DX, I was like, come on, it's not the same.
Yeah. And see, for me, when it came to the NWO, when they formed the silver and black NWO, I was like, okay, this is, no.
Although, like, visibly, I like the shirts better. I actually liked the silver. I just didn't like the group.
Yeah.
The silver shirts I thought were cool. I actually would like, I would like to have, to be quite honest. Speaking of which, I can't wait for my kid to be big enough to be in that NWO onesie. It'd be quite funny. But we come back from commercial break. That was the 10th commercial break of the night. Xia Li is in the ring, getting ready for her match against Indi Hartwell. And yes, Candice LeRae is back at Raw. As we're getting reminded about the vicious attack of Xia Li on Becky Lynch last week, costing Becky Lynch an opportunity to become the #1 contender for Rhea Ripley's Women's Championship.
And costing herself an opportunity as well.
See, I was thinking about this earlier. If the rumors were true that Becky Lynch is going to be on team, quote unquote, Bianca, if Damage Control needs somebody else, wouldn't they go to Xia Li? Like, wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, given that 75% of the group is now Oriental. Or at least 75%.
Well, it's not that. I'm looking at the Becky Lynch-Xia Li connection there. They're feuding with each other. Just add that. Because you have what I can assume would be Charlotte, Bianca, Shotzi as a trio there. I'm curious on what the fourth would be if you were then to add Becky as a fifth. Xia Li's taking the action to Indi Hartwell, just kicking her senseless in a corner right now. Something that real in her and walking it dry.
just showing that savagery that she has been showing to Becky over the last couple of weeks.
Wasn't it Xia Li that beat up Candice LeRae a couple of weeks back too?
Oh yes. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about that. So okay, this match makes sense to me now.
Not gonna lie, there is part of me that still cannot not see Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine every time I see Indi Hartwell.
I see it too now that you pointed it out a couple of weeks ago. I can't help but see it. And every time I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I see Indi Hartwell.
See, I like, to me, I'm a Rosa Diaz guy, but my God. As they're going back to the referee stoppage, it looks like here for Indi Hartwell. Is she's just getting beat up by Xia Li. Or did they? Let's see Candice LeRae in the ring. They must have done the referee stop.
Yeah, because Samantha Irvin just announced due to referee stoppage, the winner of this match is Xia Li.
My audio is off right now, so I just.
Sorry, my sister was just texting me about wanting to see the new Thanksgiving horror movie. And look, once again, Perish. This is the third time tonight. The guy that goes around slashing and killing everybody on Thanksgiving there, that commercial that's been showing on Raw here a couple of times.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't be opposed if they put this match on the PLE as well, but I feel like this is going to be on like the go home episode of Raw. And I called that way too soon.
We got Gunther calling the Miz Mike here. Very interesting.
We got Nikki Cross, I believe, standing off in the background too.
Don't you just love those little bit of like added details to the show?
Yeah, I mean,
whether it's Rhea Ripley talking to Drew McIntyre like about a month or so ago. Now we have Nikki Cross just chilling backstage, looking all weird and all. But what's not looking weird is Ivar, who's making his way down with Von Hala. And you gotta like the nice little singles push here for Ivar as they're giving him something as his partner, Eric, is, dealing with a big neck injury, recovering.
Yeah.
Hopefully it all goes well soon. We can't wait to see him come back, but more importantly, hope that everything goes healthy for him. But gotta love that, they're taking the time to make Ivar a player on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, see, this is the one thing I kind of like.
You're muted, by the way. Can't hear you right now. You're saying it's the one thing you do like.
Yeah, the one thing I do like about when a tag team wrestler gets injured these days, we don't see the entire tag team being taken out of the out of WWE right now, like we used to in the 80s and 90s for tag teams.
Well, I will say sometimes it does merit the rationale, but yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't have to. Like, anytime you do put some stock into at least one half of that tag team, if they do come back, you're still going to carry that that value added to that one person and bring it back to the tag team. So I think as long as you just keep that person relevant on the screen, you're helping a group, you're helping the individual, you're helping anything that it's associated with that person. Now, in terms of the schedule of matches, it looks like we still have two left. One we're seeing right now, the second one slated for the main event. What do you think we'll get in between?
I was going to say something with Vinci because I saw Vinci still in his wrestling gear, but I just got to assume that was because he was doing the spot with Johnny at the end there now.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of like who haven't we seen yet today on tonight's show, because we've seen pretty much everyone.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of the women we haven't seen necessarily.
Well, I mean, like everyone who's involved in major angles.
Given the main. Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen the Creed brothers yet.
Okay, so
we can easily see maybe Jinder Mahal and his group.
They were on main event too, so
yeah, so very well could maybe see a tag match there. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But we also, I'm wondering if we're going to, well, we're definitely probably going to get that segment with Damian Priest and Donna. I can only assume we get a Jey Uso, maybe Cody Rhodes segment as well. But I wonder if maybe we'll get another match or two added for next week's Monday Night Raw.
SmackDown, January 5th, Vancouver, BC.
I'm waiting for them to come back to Edmonton.
It's a long shot, but I
only
wouldn't
assume
mind.
will be a SmackDown.
It's a long shot, but if they came to Sault Ste. Marie, I'd be happy. But on that night, I
don't see why they wouldn't do the house shows.
I've always said this for like the last several years. I've said that if they tour NXT, which they were doing for a time, if they were to tour NXT, why not tour NXT to some of these smaller cities?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sense to me.
I really
talk about people we haven't seen. Led it to Michael Cole and Wade Barrett to talk to you about the finals of that Battle Royal.
Yeah, we got to see
MC'd her tonight.
Shayna. Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't seen her tonight, but my brain was like, no, you did see her tonight, but I forgot. I watched a YouTube video with her and Xavier Woods earlier today, so.
Rodriguez. We haven't seen Nia Jax either.
And there she is.
Stretch that or wind that. Potentially next week, I can only assume we'll see Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
If you were to give her a tag team partner, would you entertain the tag match next week potentially being Rhea Ripley and said person versus Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark?
Well, just because they're already involved in
Nice.
In that, I might go with either Raquel or Nia Jax actually would probably be the more likely choice because Raquel's a babyface.
I say that because I think that would be a great way to have a tag match where Zoey Stark gets a pinfall on Rhea to prove that she's there, only to give you that false hope going into that PLE. Because, of course, I think Rhea Ripley is keeping the title, but man, like what a tag team win that would be for Zoey Stark to get that momentum going into Survivor Series. As we have Ivar and the Miz right now, and Ivar is just hammering Miz with some repeated back elbows in the corner. Nothing bugs me more when somebody does a really bad looking high risk maneuver and then doing that basketball like what Miz does to act like they're tough. I hate it. What you did wasn't even that nice looking. It was like watching CM Punk off a top rope. It wasn't beautiful. It was effective, sure. But come on. Don't act like you just bench press 500 pounds. Like, I hate that.
Yeah. Now, anytime I see Miz like screw up on a maneuver, I can't help but go back to when he screwed up the figure 4 leg lock. And I'm like, how the hell do you screw that up?
Oh,
Oh,
did you see that splash?
I did, and I heard it.
Miz is seated across that LED side of the ring, and then we just see that running splash from Ivar. Oh, my God. A little bit of a hard-hitting match here with Ivar and Miz. They're definitely laying their shots in. They're definitely putting it on the line here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like how the Miz is doing this whole trying anything he can to take down the Giant, you know?
Yeah.
So who goes over in this match though now? That's one of the things I've been trying to figure out.
I wouldn't be surprised if I see Bronson Reed get involved. Whether it's a way to get the Miz a quick little win or whether or not it just throws the match out and maybe we get a Fatal 4-Way match at Survivor Series.
Well, here comes Bronson Reed.
And there it is.
That was not a tornado DDT, Michael. That was a bulldog.
Yeah, it looked like a reverse deadly dog there.
Yeah, Michael Cole called it a tornado DDT. It definitely was not.
No, Michael Cole sometimes is wrong.
Yeah.
That's the nicest way of saying that. As Bronson Reed pulls out a chair only to sit down because he wants to watch the match. As we go to another commercial break. And the question I'm going to pose out, do we really think that Miz and Gunther is a set match for Survivor Series? I'm starting to think that maybe we're going to have some additional participants.
I tend to agree with you because I think from what I've read, a lot of people are echoing your sentiments as not wanting to see the Miz take on Gunther at Survivor Series.
It does not look like a match where it doesn't feel legit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just seems like the Miz just should get beaten up. Like, it'd be like if you see Billy Madison, like in that dodgeball scene, it's like Gunther is the guy with the ball, and the kids are the Miz. There should be no chance. Like, there's something about though that capturing a photo only to change like aspects of it that takes away the natural moment. In my opinion, like I understand sometimes you're trying to take a photo and it doesn't work out,
Right.
and can't capture it, but can we agree that like that's what like makes the moment sometimes too? It's like, oh, remember that time where we're trying to get a photo and this happened and completely wrecked it. And like that's your moment. Like that's what you have. And I say this because we're watching a commercial here in Canada with the Google Pixel camera. But now, like, it just seems like we're in a world now where it's like it doesn't matter if it's bad; it has to be perfect. Like, it doesn't. You got to create something to make it perfect. All we care about is perfect. That perfect moment, that perfect everything. It takes away that organic and natural aspect of it, and I don't know. That scares me. It scares someone that's like bringing a child in the world, thinking like the world is getting superficial.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, when I went to Unforgiven in 06, though, I did actually get a picture right at the perfect moment. And it was during Trish Stratus and Lita, with Trish connecting the chick kick on Lita right at the moment that I snapped the picture.
Okay. I was wondering if we're going to do a Dr. Pepper thing here. But good. But yeah, I mean, come back commercial break, and it looks like it's a giant hug between the Miz and Ivar, and it looks kind of weird. Looked like the Miz went for that clothesline in the corner, and Ivar caught him, but we didn't see the clothesline attempt, people. We just came back from and we just saw the catch. And they're in the catch position, so it looked a little weird. Or I thought so. Then they had that stare down, and it just like, nope. Oh my God, the bounce! The bounce he got from that went
right back to the middle of the fucking ring.
Like, I knew. My Lord. Big man can bounce, man. That's awesome. This match has been a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. I'll say that. I'm very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also happy for Ivar because it's like these kind of matches that he keeps having and seems to be having from a singles capacity to really up his value. And I hear a lot of stories, especially on Tommaso Ciampa with Chris Van Vliet, about how much he shied on his own in the independents. Now, seems like we're getting that here on the main roster on Monday Night Raw. Ooh.
Oh.
A world's strongest slam from the top rope cannot finish off the Miz. But my God, that looked rough.
Can I just say I'm enjoying looking at Bronson Reed and seeing his facial reactions to everything that's going on. He's
I'd
really
almost like a kind of like that secondary camera view where all you're getting is that like something completely different, where there's like a reaction of someone. Ooh, and the Miz picks up the win with a distracted Ivar, who went for that second rope moonsault as Bronson Reed stands up, has that moment of looking. Miz catches him with the power bomb, puts his feet on the ropes for the 1, 2, 3, proving Miz will do whatever it takes to win a match.
So I kind of knew that we were going to get a screwy finish because we got Bronson Reed attacking Ivar right now, but I knew we were going to get a screwy finish because you don't really want to have Ivar lose clean because that could hurt his momentum.
Yeah. But now we're going to get a big man match between Ivar and Bronson Reed, perhaps for next week on Raw. And two big men slapping meat is a recipe for a good Monday night.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper.
But that screams more barbecue to me. Another package for War Games. So they're doing a really great job of introducing not only the match itself, but the rules of War Games. So I'm going to try to do a little bit better of a job of letting you guys know time rules, so I don't have to rewind my TV because it moved faster than the way I could speak. So we have two men start the match. At equal intervals, a new star enters, which I believe is, 5 minutes now? The match doesn't start until all members have entered the match, and the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. And the one thing to also add that they are not adding is that if you decide to exit the cage in any way, your team will be disqualified. I think before everyone enters the match, if you leave, you're taken out of the match. But if you do it after everyone is in the match, the team is disqualified. I believe that is the way.
So right now we got Miz and JD. We got Damian and JD talking.
And there it is. The official acknowledgement. JD McDonough is officially in the Judgment Day, as he gets a nice little new vest, which I knew from that opening segment. The vest was weird to me because it was white. It wasn't dark. Presented with a nice dark spikes on it. Irish Ace vest. JD McDonough officially in Judgment Day, as we go to another So far, it's not technically a commercial break, but it more or less is. But we're seeing a lot of highlights of what happened last week inside WWE on SmackDown per se. And assume we're followed by a couple commercials here. But what do you think of the acknowledgement of JD McDonough now in Judgment Day?
It's about friggin' time because we've, as I said in the past several weeks, we've already been acknowledging him as a member of the Judgment Day. Every time they've come out without JD there, we were like, "Where is JD?" And then suddenly JD would show up and interfere and or attack whoever the Judgment Day were coming out against for a promo. You know.
Mm-hmm. And it's good because, like, I think it's going to add a different dimension to the Judgment Day. I think JD McDonough, whether it's him or Dom, or maybe it's him and Finn in a tag team role, I think that's something that will work. Because long term, I just don't see Finn and Damien being a tag team much longer. Going back to Gamer Boy Kai's question, like, I still don't think they'll lose the titles tonight, but I don't think they're destined to be tag champions for much longer.
I agree with you because I still can see a Finn and JD teacher-student tag team that somehow breaks out into a feud between the two of them at some point. Maybe not right away, but somewhere down, maybe within the next year or so.
Back when a lot of them were in it. Back when a lot of them were in NXT UK, I wanted to see Tyler Bate and JD McDonough kind of go one-on-one. And then I wanted to see maybe Tyler Bate, take an L there, a cheap little L to JD, only for Trent Seven to come in and say, you know what, it's okay. As we lose, right? Mustache Mountain, give them their connection. And then all of a sudden, maybe we see a little bit of an attack by JD. All right, you do have JD against Trent Seven. All right, Trent Seven's, doing the heroic match that he always does, always fights. JD gets some help from somebody that's maybe masked. Maybe you don't know who it is. Ends up being Finn Balor, and you have on each side mentor and student versus mentor and student. I thought that was a little cool dynamic that we never got, but I always wanted to see it. I think the world of Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. I think Tyler Bate is more than ready to be on the main roster. But that's a different story for a different day. But yeah. No, I'm looking really forward to seeing Finn Balor and JD McDonough work more together. So coming back from commercial break, I can only assume we have one more backstage segment. So we're getting a couple previews to the WrestleMania week, as they call it. Friday, April 5th, you have SmackDown on Fox, followed by the Hall of Fame ceremony 2024. Saturday, April 6th, you got Stand and Deliver. And then you have Monday Night Raw, Monday, April 8th. Can only assume, too. Saturday and Sunday, we got night 1 and night 2.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
And that Stand and Deliver show is going to be an afternoon show, as it is every year. So.
I called that too.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, and I called this too. Into sheer. I said them against a Creed, so maybe we'll see something. No, come on. Oh, but we see him in the next clip.
Jesus. This was definitely your night for predicting shit tonight.
Just gonna step away for right now. So if you want, just 1 second. You hear me?
Yeah. Did you destroy your studio or something?
No, I spilled my beer.
Oh.
Right, we're all good.
Okay,
Oh, but
so
you were
this
mute for the longest time, by the way. Just
Yeah, it said that you had muted me, or the host muted my mic. I did not mute myself, but all right.
I didn't.
So next week we are also getting a match to determine the advantage going into War Games. That's something
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, we see that every year. We saw that last year as well.
Oh, I don't remember. But I'm already going to say it because this typically tends to happen with War Games, but Judgment Day are going to have the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense because Damian Priest was selected as the man, right, for that? Or
Yeah.
is it? Sorry, I missed it because I was cleaning up a lot of electronics here. The last thing I wanted to do is have spillage.
I didn't catch who they said was going to do it.
So as we have Cody Rhodes coming down, I'm going to quickly rewind and see what we have there.
They also in that
So what we do have
in that backstage segment, they also
I'm gonna
hinted.
get. We got an advantage match with everyone, so it looks like it's 4-on-4, or maybe it's just an advantage match. We don't know the participants yet. But we also have Becky Lynch against Xia Li, and then Nia Jax and Raquel, as we were saying.
In that Creed Brothers segment with the New Day and Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy.
Yeah, they Ivy Nile and Maxine hinted at challenging the tag titles.
There you go.
I called
that one. Not Yeah. So as I look to be completely fine now with a potential scare, yeah. What? The worst part is, like, I literally just did laundry, so put the pants on that I'm wearing straight out of the dryer. They're going straight back into the washer now. Yay.
That's like me sometimes. I'll take a fresh
What can you
I'll
do?
take a fresh shirt out of the laundry, put it on, and then have spaghetti at supper.
Are your palms sweaty? Because it's your spaghetti.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
But Donna says the levy on the Chevy. As we go to probably another commercial break,
How many are we at now?
brings us up to 13. We're at lucky number 13. Which, you know what? For a 3-hour broadcast, we're, 150 minutes in?
That's a commercial every 10 minutes.
That's not bad.
Give or take. And that's
not
about
terrible. I mean, that's like
No.
any other show. That's normal.
right. Sorry, as
But yeah,
I
we
was
keep
saying,
talking about the commercials, and I'm like, I'm just curious.
if you watch like a
Yeah.
half-hour commercial, if you watch a half-hour TV show, you get 3 commercial breaks in that show. So
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna lie, they actually did vary up the commercials this time around. I think that's what kills us is the repetitive commercials we get.
So my wife just texted me because for no reason right now, our cat has been jumping on the counter.
Huh.
Very different. Not really something she did a lot. But we're finding out she's peeing on it.
That's kind of disgusting.
Well, it's not the first thing I would like my cat to do if she jumped on the counter. Now, like, I can understand, okay, maybe licking some of the dirty, like the plates that go in that are on in the dishwasher. Get it? Honest, yeah, sure. But she's
Yeah.
peeing.
I like how we got a commercial about vaping, and the two people who usually vape on our show aren't even here.
There we got one with Xavier Woods, who has a bachelor degree in psychology and physiology and a master's in psychology. He has a degree in psychology and a master's in psychology. Why can't you just say that? Like, my God. Weren't we just talking about, like, saying stuff in smaller amount of words?
Yeah, earlier on our Slack chat, we were talking about that.
Yeah. Weird. He has a degree in psychology and all this too. Oh no, yeah. By the way, also he has a master's in psychology as well. Can't you just say it's a degree and master's? Pretty sure you have to get a degree before you get a master's. Pretty sure that's how it works. So just say he has a master's. I think we could, pick up the pieces to how he got there. It's main event time here. We're getting Cody and main event Jey looking to grab those tag team titles from the ones that defeated them for the tag titles. Damian Priest, Finn Balor, everyone else inside the War Games match has been banned, not just from the match, but from the arena as well. Which means, does that mean Rhea Ripley can get involved?
Yeah, because she wasn't banned, so.
Alrighty, that's one thing I just don't understand. Like, you get somebody down on the ground, you go after them. You're trying to win a championship. Of all people, expect Jey Uso to understand that difference.
Yeah, you get them down, you go for a pin, kick them a few times if you have to. Do whatever it is you need to win that championship.
Something not sitting well with me in this tag match so far. Just seems like it's not as smooth as it should be. Although I do like the fact that Jey Uso does have a Yeet t-shirt while Roman Reigns is telling Jimmy to stop saying it.
To be fair, if I was Roman Reigns, I'd be telling people to stop saying it too, because
it only brings me to the point where I'm wondering if, like, backstage they're just like, oh yeah, it's like the funniest thing ever. So, like, Roman Reigns probably on screen has to, like, he's at the point where he has to say that, and then it's just inside he's like, man, this sucks. Because I can see Roman Reigns backstage saying yeet probably more than anybody else. Like, how funny would that be if we hear that?
That would be friggin' hilarious.
So far, what does everybody think of Monday Night Raw? In the chat there, want to know what you guys thought so far. And as we conclude it with the main event that we see right before us, the tag team championship match, Judgment Day versus Cody and Jey Uso. As we see some 2-on-1 attacks on Jey Uso from Damian Priest and Finn Balor there until Finn Balor can isolate Jey Uso with that nice little reverse chin lock there.
This match feels like...
Pull yourself back when... So go ahead.
I was gonna say this match feels like really old school tag team wrestling. They're cutting Jey off from Cody, keeping him cornered away from everyone, just doing everything they can to keep him down, keeping Cody at bay at the same time.
This referee, it seems like he's lost control in this match. As the action spilled out outside of the ring, we have Cody Rhodes taking it to Damian Priest. We go for our 14th commercial of the night. I have to think it's probably our last one, our second to last one.
Yeah, based on the timing we have right now, I'm going to agree. I kind of predicted we were going to get 14 or 15 commercials, or commercial breaks, I should say.
Yeah. Now, let's just have fun here. If by chance Drew McIntyre is not the guy joining the side of the Judgment Day, and someone is to interfere to help the Judgment Day retain, and it's not Dom, it's not JD, who else would you put in that position?
Randy Orton could work in that situation.
But would you do that tonight though? Because I would not. I would not. I think if I was to do anything with Randy Orton, I'm doing it at the Go Home show.
During the Advantage match next week.
But also, it would make sense if KO is suspended from SmackDown. He would do something on Raw, too. Just going to put that out there.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot that he got suspended from SmackDown last week.
Which, this needs to be addressed. I understand why he got suspended. Got it. But at some point, Nick, all of this. You guy threw a water bottle at your commentators. You're not gonna do anything there. At what point do you allow altercation and bulliness towards your announcers? To me, that's what I'm thinking too. How much do your announcers have to take for that? Was that professional of your athletes to do that to your commentating team on SmackDown? You can't let that seed go unturned. So if I'm going to get mad at Kevin Owens there, you got to get mad at Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Can you not?
I totally would, because in essence, Kevin Owens was an official, and you are not to put your hands on an official.
Well, he wasn't an official participant on the show. He was an announcer. So, yeah. Like it's to me, I think at some point you have to look at it that way too, and I hope they do. As we return from commercial break, potentially the last commercial break, 14th commercial break to be exact. Because who's counting? This guy. So we get a nice little blind tag in from Cody Rhodes. We have Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor in the ring right now. Nice little kitchen sink. Very underrated move, then, I'm not going to lie. It all the time. I love those moves. Thoughts so far in the match, Chris?
Just, it's complete chaos, which is what I completely expected out of this match. I am loving everything that they're doing. I love that they're cutting Cody off as heel tag team should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
This match screams old school tag team wrestling, and I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It seems like that's a trend now. Not going to discount your McDonald's reference. I'm loving it as well. But it seems like that's a trend now with Monday Night Raw. We're seeing more of that old school storytelling within the match. The more we watch Raw, the more we pick up on that.
And I think that's where a company like AEW is lacking, is the storytelling in the matches just isn't there.
Yeah. I mean, I find AEW is really one of those companies where there's just a different way to enjoy wrestling. I mean, obviously, as a former performer, there's a certain style I like to work, a certain different style that I like to work. I know there is other people on the card that I'm working that work a completely different style, and it seems like there's a new age style that captivates the majority of wrestling fans nowadays, and that's maybe a version that I'm not really. It's not my thing. I'll say this. Give you an example. You're going to see a completely different match when you watch the New Day and when you watch the Young Bucks. But with all that being said, it is what it is. But if you want to ignite a larger audience and build that TV audience, you're going to get a multiple amount of different wrestling fans. You got to have that selection for just about everything. And you have to, because guys like Chris Jericho ain't going to work that style. Edge ain't going to work that style. Sorry, Adam Copeland. That's my MJF impression. But, a Broton bump by Damian Priest there.
Yeah. I'm actually glad you brought up MJF, because it just reminded me just the other day, I actually caught on YouTube the trailer for Iron Claw, and I want to watch that movie now.
Yeah. And speaking of which, Chavo Guerrero, compliments to you. You did just seems like you did a lot for that movie. As someone that did not really pay attention to much of how that movie was made. Good for you. Congratulations to you. And I hope the movie does well. And I hope you receive your flowers, because I don't think that movie could have been done without the help and assistance of what I think is one of the most undervalued, underappreciated talents, and that is Chavo Guerrero Jr.
I mean, we talk about wrestlers that have an incredible wealth of knowledge. Chavo is one of them. I mean, he is seriously seasoned. He's one of those dudes that if you were to give a training session of sorts, you want to go to it and you want to listen to everything he's going to tell you.
I mean, alone, when you hear the name Guerrero, you just have to understand that they know wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially like in there, but at the same time, when you take that to Hollywood and you're training actors, essentially people that don't know anything, and you have the confidence that you can have matches with them post movie.
Yeah, it was just
who doesn't want to see Zac Efron in a match?
I was just gonna say because Chris Van Vliet asked.
I'm not saying as a true wrestling fan. Give me more Hollywood actors in wrestling. It's not what I'm saying at all. But if we're gonna see this crossover, there's only one way to truly do a crossover.
I mean, Chris Van Vliet did ask.
But yeah, you were saying about
Van Vliet asked Chavo if Zac Efron could wrestle a match, and he's like, "Yeah, he definitely could."
Yeah, he actually said they did when they were shooting. They did not only essentially matches at a time to capture moves like that crossbody from the top that we saw. They said essentially we did matches all the time. Like we wrestled the matches, and we did them multiple amount of times, and that's how they got multiple amount of footages. Sounded like he didn't want to do the stop and start spots. He wanted to do a full match, and you take what you get out of it, and I think that's amazing.
That sounds like how they shot The Masked Saint, because I was on set for the wrestling matches that day, or the wrestling scenes that day, and it was just straight up 12 hours of shooting wrestling matches all day long.
Yeah. I mean, when you watch wrestling in its nature, yeah, you're going to get a lot of stuff that maybe doesn't shine well when you want to like put it in a Hollywood type setting, but you're going to get a lot of great natural organic stuff that just you can't duplicate. And because of that reason, it just resonates well with the fan base, resonates well with the viewers. Like, you just can't fake real. And that, to me, is just amazing. Like, people want to call wrestling that word fake. And obviously, it's predetermined. We all know this. It's entertainment. We all know this. But it's not fake, because you still have to go out, do the moves. And I think nowadays we're seeing a lot more respect given to the athleticism of a pro wrestler nowadays. And it's really great. I think the world is becoming a lot more knowledgeable of what it takes to be a professional wrestler. So, I mean, can't say anything better anymore. That's just good.
And on that day that I was on set for The Masked Saint watching those wrestling matches, I was there with my entire film class. And I said this on Tuesday, but it wasn't just my teacher that was clinging to me to learn about wrestling. The rest of the class was coming to me asking questions about wrestling as well. And I told them everything I could. So, but it was through that's how I discovered Rob Rage. May he rest in peace. And RJ City.
Yeah. So he had the amazing opportunity to have Mariah May's first appearance in AEW last week. So, yeah. I think he actually got a kiss from Mariah May, too. Oh, a peck on the cheek. And with that being said, we are returning from commercial break with a nice little advertisement to tomorrow night's NXT as Chase U is quote unquote under investigation. So it's going to be a good show tomorrow. And once again, if you want to check out a reaction show based on NXT, look no further than our local establishment, because Astro Bizarro and Ed Fries have it covered with Taking Over, which follows Turnbuckle Talk, hosted by the men that I am with, Chris Best and Karl Karufel. Do you know if Karl is going to be there tomorrow?
He will not be. He messaged me about that last night.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna have to. I was gonna talk to OMD if he was gonna be on the show tonight about being a part of the show, or maybe if you want to join too, Perish. But I know that you've got baby duties, so
I do. Yeah, we'll talk later. We'll see what happens. If I just have to, you know what? It's what we do, right? It's what we do for each other. We support each other. We do what we have to do. So we'll talk. But right now, we're back from commercial. We have Cody Rhodes taking up Damian Priest, only to get a roll by Finn Balor, who is the legal man. Some nice little one-on-one between Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor. As Michael Cole said, two former leaders of the Bullet Club.
I love that Michael Cole has this freedom now to talk about the history of every wrestler and not just the history of what they did in the WWE.
Well, and you have to think back with the person who's in charge nowadays who doesn't care about acknowledging it. In fact, he respects the history of the business. That is Triple H.
Now, granted, I'm certain he doesn't want wrestlers or commentators talking about their time in AEW or anything like that.
I mean, granted, and it was once Sami Zayn who did once refer in a segment AEW. So it's not like AEW has not been referenced by WWE on WWE TV. Same with TNA. As Kurt Angle once told Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, TNA is hiring, as he did not want to sign them to his roster at the time.
Actually, when I was thinking about that, I was thinking about when John Cena also referenced TNA, and he didn't reference it directly, but he did say, I remember in a promo, he said to Vince McMahon, I'm not afraid to go to that company down south and make them a lot of money.
Yeah, we also had CM Punk in his infamous Las Vegas promo on the stage that he even talked about Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, just doesn't happen all the time, but yes, it does happen once in a while. So, that's why they have the phrase, never say never.
Yep.
Ooh, we have Crossroads on Damian Priest. That can only be followed by a spear from Jey Uso on Finn Balor. Looks like Cody and Jey have the advantage right now. Looking for their version of the 1D, and they hit it. Can they do it?
I kind of wish that
Jey Priest breaks up.
I kind of wish that Damian lifted Finn up a little bit more on that.
Yeah. But a lot of that has to do with the post.
Speaking of the post?
Like the postie, not the poster. Whoa, yeah, there it is. Don't think I've seen that happen before.
I don't think I've seen it either.
Damian Priest throws Cody Hart into the post so much that the outside of the post cover falls off. Looks like Ring Crew after Raw just got a little bit easier.
Oh.
Oh. Drew McIntyre has appeared. Does a Claymore kick to Jey Uso on the side. Throws him back in, only to walk away. Finn Balor covers Jey for the 1, 2, 3. As Judgment Day retains their undisputed tag team titles.
That was actually a decent match. I enjoyed that match.
It was. And it leaves you wanting more. Why did Drew do what he did? What was the rationale there? Did Judgment Day even know about it? What does Cody and Jey now think Drew?
How does Adam Pearce react to this? Does Adam Pearce add Drew to the War Games match and force Cody's team to find a 5th member?
You'd have to think. I mean, War Games does typically do 5-on-5, right? So
that they do.
We have 4-on-4 so far. It's only natural that one man is added to each team. But what I like is Drew is he is not shy about what he did. He is staring down Cody and Jey. Rhea walks beside him, offers the hand as Drew accepted he does.
And I believe we called this back when we caught Rhea talking to Drew backstage. I think we all said that this was going to be something for War Games.
Yeah, and that's exactly how Raw goes off the air. What did you think of Monday Night Raw? What was your takeaway, Chris? Let's start there.
It was a very eventful show. It was heavy, obviously, in the War Games build, as it needs to be, because there's really not a lot of time to build the War Games match. I kind of wish that there was something more announced for the undercard matches, but I guess we'll get to that maybe on SmackDown, maybe on next week's Raw. Overall, this was a fairly entertaining show.
It really was, and not a lot of things kind of out of place here. It really sets the stage for Survivor Series, for War Games, and a lot of action that, you know what, not one of us had to leave for any reason, outside of me spilling beer on my set and having to clear it up. But by chance, if OMD was here, he couldn't be remiss. We know he would have probably had to go for a locker room visit. As you see right there, you can pick up one of those t-shirts off Karl Karufel's red bubble that we can see right now down there on the ticker. But yeah, as can't really do this show without making fun of OMD and his bladder. And we definitely can't do this show without talking about Karl Karufel, who was pretty much the reason why there is a Monday Night Raw watch along. Just got to give him a little shout. And if you want to know more about Karl, then just, you know what? You got to go to his link tree, which is right here on the ticker there. Link tree / Karl Karufel right there. But yeah. So we got kind of sidetracked with the question with some comments earlier. But if you were to add, say, let's go 3 matches to Survivor Series, what would they be?
Coming out of this show now, I'd probably go Xia Becky, but I'd be also fine if that was a pre-show match as well, or the women's tag titles. But thinking now maybe Ivy Nile and Maxine are the ones that challenge for it, or we get Teagan and Natty based off what Teagan did tonight.
Yeah.
And still over on the SmackDown side, because I kind of still want KO to be on the show. If KO can't be in War Games, give him Austin Theory or Grayson Waller.
Yeah. I think 3 matches. I think I'd include is give me a tag team turmoil match to determine number 1 contenders for the tag team titles. That way, both brands could put some tag teams involved there. I mean, we see Indi Sheer, we see American Alpha, we see DIY, we see Imperium on the Raw side. But what about, maybe Pretty Deadly over on the SmackDown side? There are some tag teams. Street Profits, another one that can do some damage. Butcher and Ridge Holland. Give me a tag team turmoil match to discover new number 1 contenders there. And yeah, the women's tag titles. Gotta see. Give me Piper Niven and Chelsea Green defending those tag team titles against Natalya and Teagan Nox. Come on. Why not? Give us 14 women on a PLE WWE. You know you want to. It'll be different. It'll be great. These women are amazing. They work amazingly. You know you want to do it. Then as a third match, give me Santos and Ray. Give me a nice little match there. Carlitos, your special guest referee. Those are the 3 matches I think I'd add to Survivor Series. But, I mean, with that all being said, we're hitting the end of this broadcast. Chris Best, where can people find you? What do you have going on?
All right, you can find me at youtube.com at ChrisDamage83, Twitch TV at CBRS Entertainment, threads.net at CBestFilms83, Facebook.com, Chris.Best83, TikTok.com, CBRS.Entertainment. You can catch me here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, doing Turnbuckle Talk. I don't have a co-host with me just yet, but I'm going to work on that. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Oh, you can also catch me here every Monday night, too, at 8 p.m. Eastern, watching the Raw Watch Along as well.
Awesome. And just to give people a little bit of a preview, what do you have in store for Turnbuckle Talk tomorrow?
I actually don't have a major story just yet. I'm still digging around for one.
All right. Well, I asked that question just to let everybody know that on the Twitch side of our local section, we are rating out to Get the Tables, as they've been a nice little friend of us for a while now. So we can give a little bit of shout out to them. So Get the Tables. Yeah, there it is. But as for myself, you can follow me at the X Chris Perish, the Instagram and threads at Chris.Perish, the Twitch at twitch.com/the Chris Perish, YouTube and Kick at Chris Perish. In terms of visual, you can see me this Wednesday with Wrestle Draft with Ed Fries as we play some WWE 2K23, my GM mode, as we battle one another with a third party, a computer animated Eric Bischoff, and we try to find out who is going to win Season 3, as Ed Fries and I are one piece, we're one season each winning. I won Season 1, he won Season 2. Maybe Eric Bischoff wins Season 3, or maybe it's one of us wins Season 3. We'll find out. And then every Sunday, 12:15 p.m. Eastern, you will see me with Bobby Munson with Busting Out as we celebrate our 66th installment this week. So should be fun, and keep your eyes out tomorrow for either Turnbuckle Talk or Taking Over. Who knows? You might even see me, but you want to definitely come and check out our local establishment and Turnbuckle Studios for that. Chris Best, any parting words you want to give the people before we head out?
No, just have a wonderful night, everyone.
And with that being said, we appreciate everyone who stopped by to watch us watch some Monday Night Raw. This has been the Monday Night Raw Watch Along with Chris Best and myself. Have a good night and stay happy.